What is going on, YouTube? It's been a little while. We're back with another value-based YouTube video. You guys have been DMing me, asking me for more, so I came up with another good video to show you guys. For a minute, I just couldn't think of anything to record, so here we go. We're going to talk about why your ads aren't working, but in a more specific manner. I'm not going to just tell you your creatives suck or your ad strategy sucks. Well, I am going to tell you your creatives suck, but in a different way. So let's just jump straight into it. Let's not waste any time. If you want to check out my other videos to see if I'm credible or check out my Instagram, feel free. But before we start, we want to make sure that you have a good product, good margins, and a trustworthy website / branding. This is just like super basic, and we'll go a little more in depth, but this is just like super baseline. I'm not asking for a ton, but I'm not asking for nothing either. I want to make sure you have some sort of credibility to dive into this concept. And then also just your ad account setup. I have YouTube videos on this. Just a good testing strategy and a proper way to scale your winning creatives so you're actually taking advantage of the work you're putting in. But this isn't why you suck. It's not this and it's not this. Well, maybe it is, but let's just assume that it isn't this, because I want you to have these dialed in before we dive any deeper. This is the reason why you suck. Your creatives aren't converting, your offer isn't converting, or there's a leak in your funnel. And I'll dive into each one of these concepts individually. So first off, creatives not converting, bringing shitty traffic. This is a kind of new problem I've been running into as I scale accounts a little more broad, is that the bottom of funnel content where you're kind of just showcasing, it doesn't work for cold traffic a lot of the time, unless you have an absolutely insanely good like winning product, which happens a lot still. These type of creatives that are like very bottom of funnel aren't going to work as you start to expand more broad. And the traffic is just not going to convert. You're going to get a lot of window shoppers or a lot of engagement, but not actual buyers. So first, moving forward with this step, your website and offer needs to be absolutely dialed to come to this conclusion, because you can actually be getting target audience, but if your website and offer is dog shit, then it's not going to convert anybody. So if your website and offer is capable of holding a 2% plus conversion rate for multiple days at a time, and I'm not saying you think it's capable, I'm saying that it has actually held a 2+ conversion rate for multiple days at a time, which has happened on my accounts multiple times. And then what happens is it'll hold that good conversion rate, and as your pixel tries to reach new people, this conversion rate will drop because your creatives are just too bottom of funnel and not like cold friendly enough. It may be your creatives not creating enough of a selling point within. So this is some things you can try. You can try creating urgency within your creative. You can try showing why you're better than competitors within your creative. This is more general ecom, but I've seen it with like denim and stuff too, or more popular products. You can show what you do different with your brand, why your product's better. And then solving ICP pain points. So whatever your ideal customer profile is, target audience, whatever you want to call it, you have to understand their pain points before you try to sell to them. So for example, in streetwear, a big pain point is not fucking getting your product on time or waiting, months. So, showing that everything's on hand, pre-made, and ships within, 1 to 3 business days. That's a huge way to heal these pain points for your ICP. So here's just 3 things you can try that you can add on top of your winning visuals. Next, we're going to go into your website / offer not converting, even with target traffic. So like I was saying earlier, even if your creatives are converting and bringing in the target audience, if your website and offer isn't converting, then obviously there's a huge issue. Your ads aren't going to work. So, and you still can't convert it. It's almost always your offer. So here are 3 things to try. Do market research in your niche and get cost of goods down to create a competitive offer. This is actually the biggest problem in streetwear, is these idiots, getting just absolutely fucking scammed by the manufacturer, paying $40 for a hoodie. How the hell are you going to profit and have a competitive offer in the market when your hoodie costs $40 to make? And it doesn't cost $40 to make. It costs $15 to make, but you're getting scammed. So learn how to actually properly talk to a manufacturer. Find the right manufacturer on top of that, but knowing how to approach them, knowing how to talk to them is huge for getting a good competitive cost of goods. And then from there, you can actually work and make offers. If you have multiple products with low cost of goods, you can make insane offers. Another big problem I see, having super low perceived value. So just shitty content, shitty branding, shitty website. All of these things affect the perceived value of your product. So if you raise the perceived value of your product 2 times higher than the actual price, it'll be like a no-brainer price, even if the price is normal, even if it's like $60. If you can make the product look like it's worth $120, it's going to be a no-brainer to pay $60 for this. So I'm not saying make the compare at price $120. I'm saying make the content and the way the product looks, make it look like it's worth $120 to anyone. Then you should have no problem selling it at $60. And if you're still not converting with these two things, because these are the two things you should fix first. Once you fix these two, you can actually do this one right here, which is create free gift / buy one get one offers that wipe everyone else out in the market that are just doing regular 20% off offers. And then you can convert anybody and you'll have the best offer in the space. Especially if you do these two, it's going to be that's what we call a no-brainer, a cold friendly, whatever you want to call it, offer, is when you combine all these three things in order. You get your cost of goods down, you raise your perceived value, and you create a free gift / buy one get one offer. That is how you make these cold friendly offers that can convert anyone, and you can scale as hard as you want. And if you're still stuck and can't be profitable after these two things, look for major leaks in your funnel, because once you fix these two things and you're still not converting, you most likely have a major leak in your funnel. And what I mean by this is just little mistakes at the top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, right at the end of the funnel that affect your conversion rate and people drop off. So let's start at the top. Basic info missing, which is like size charts, shipping information, policies, just basic shit that every brand should have. Even information about the product, information about the brand, all that. This is just basic shit that you cannot be missing if you even want to spend $1 on ads. Trust issues, I put this at more middle of the funnel. People not trusting you enough to even add to cart or reach checkout, and they're just again, this would just be missing shipping information, like customer service information, not having good customer service, not offering refunds, things like that. And then hidden fees, I put this right at bottom. So if your shipping costs $10 on a $50 product, you can't expect your conversion rate to be good, especially if it's $10 shipping and it takes 2 months. So yeah, these are just leaks in your funnel. Another one would be, I had this one time right at the end of checkout, the refund policy was right there, and it's says no refunds. So there's another example of right at the very bottom of funnel, literally losing them at the finish line. So yeah, those are some examples of leaks in your funnel. So yeah, that is some of the main reasons why your ads aren't working, more than just your creative or your offer or something, just a little more deeper dive and actual actionable steps that you can take. So if you made it to the end of this video, comment action. Is that spelled right? That don't look right. Yeah, and I'll reply to your comment. I like it. If you have any questions, video ideas that you want me to make, DM me on Instagram. I'll leave it at the top of the description. But other than that, I appreciate you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.